here is one more task which requires a little bit of thinking. And as you can see, we must write a function which can convert the time input given in 12 hours format to 24 hours format. And here we have use cases. This is why it is easier for us to check if we covered everything correctly. So let's try to create this function, and once again, this is not a function that you can solve in 30 seconds, so you can take your time and think about it a little bit. So let's create here convert to 24 hours format, and we're getting here time text. And actually what I want to do here first, I want to convert it to lowercase, because actually here we will get AM and PM, and we want to be sure that they are lowercase. This is why here we can write time text lower, and here we want to call time text to lowercase. The second thing that I want to do is get hours and minutes separately. So what I want to write here is time text lower split, and we want to split it by colon, because actually we have colon in every single case. And on the left we have our hours, and on the right we have minutes. And actually here I want to make a destructuring assignment. Here directly I want to get first of all our hours, and secondly minutes. In this case, we are creating two local variables. If you don't want to write like this, you can name it with some temporary variable and then just read this temporary variable .hours and .minutes. But here we come to difficult stuff. As you can see, sometimes we have just a single digit and sometimes we have two digits. But also we have a case where we have 0 at the beginning. And here we also have one more case that we need to cover. If we have here 12 as hours, then we must convert it to 0, 0. This is why I want to write exactly this logic. So if time text lower dot ends with, and actually ends with is a really nice function in JavaScript which is checking that our string is ending with something. And here we can check for AM, because actually we know that here we have 12 AM, and it means that we must convert it to two zeros. This is why here I want to write hours equals, and here we are checking if our hours equals 12, and 12 as a string, because here we are splitting our string. Then we want here to get 0. In other case, we are getting here hours. And as you can see, first of all, I wrote here a single 0 and not two zeros, and this is also important. And here I just directly assigned hours, which actually means we covered this logic to get a single 0, and in all other cases we just get whatever we get. If it is 5, we are getting 5, if it is 0, 1, we will get 0, 1. So we covered our AM case, now I want to cover PM case. This is why here we can write else, and even maybe else if, because we want to check for PM. And here we can write time text lower dot end with, and here we are getting our PM. And in this case we want to apply different logic. We want to assign here our hours, and we want to check if our hours equals 12, because this is again another case. In this case we want to apply here hours, or we want to write here string, and inside plus hours plus 12. What this code is doing at all. As you can see here, I wrote plus hours. What it does, actually we are getting our hours as a string, so let's say that we are getting here 12. Now if I will write here plus at the beginning, we are getting here directly number from a string, which actually means we are converting this to number, and then we make plus 12. Why is that? Because let's say here we are checking PM, for example this case with 0, 1, and here we are checking, okay, hours equals 12, no, then we want to make 0, 1 plus 12. Let's check this out, how it will be. So we're getting here 0, 1, and actually it is converted to 1, and now after this we're getting plus 12, and we're getting 13, which actually means by adding 12, we're converting it to the correct PM time. And if we have 12 PM like this, then we simply leave it like 12. So actually here we could write 12, or we could just take our hours. So what I want to do now, I want to check what we're getting inside hours. So here I want to console log our convert to 24 hours format, and here is our time text and our hours. And now I want to copy all these cases and just run them. In this case, we can check that they are working correctly. I'm reloading the page and we are getting assignment to constant variable. And as you can see here, we are trying to override hours, and of course it's forbidden. This is why here we must write let. Let's check this out. I'm reloading and we are getting for 12, 0, for 5, 5, 12, 12, 01:13, here we have PM 11:23 and 10:22, which actually means our logic for hours is correct. After this, we must add a leading zero in these all cases. And as you can see, sometimes we don't need it and sometimes we must add it. And we can easily solve it with one more plain JavaScript function. We can write here hours.paddStart, and here we can provide 2,0. And what it does, as you can see here, it pads the current string with another string multiple times if needed, which actually means here we're providing 2, which means we will have 2 symbols, and here we have 0, which actually means if we don't have a symbol there, then we will put 0 inside. And actually now I want to copy this part and just put inside our console log to check if it's working. I'm reloading the page, and as you can see now we are getting correct time. So here we have 2 zeros, 05, and then all our correct numbers. Now we must implement our minutes, and actually it is much easier. First of all, just to remind you, inside minutes we also have PM and AM, and we must get rid of it. This is why we can write here directly mins.slice, and here we are using 0 minus 2. In this case we will get rid of 2 symbols, AM or PM, and we will get just minutes here. And after this I want to use paddStart, just like we did previously, and here will be also 2 and 0. In this case we will check, okay, if we have here 8, then we must get here 08. And if we will have here 2 digits, then it is totally fine. Now we can just remove this console log, we don't need it anymore, and actually here in every single case I want to write console log. This is why let's change this now. I want to write here console log, then open it, and here we have convert, and let's close it with bracket. Now we have all our cases, let's check them out. I'm reloading the page and we're getting our time. And it is looking totally fine. Actually here, for example, we have minutes 00, 33, 55, 08 and so on. But the problem is that we forgot to put a colon between them. This is why here we must write plus and between them just put a string with a colon. And as you can see now we're getting nice time in 24 hours format. And actually from my point of view, this is difficult to solve this task in 5 or 10 minutes. You really need to sit there like maybe 15 minutes or half of an hour to check different cases, how you want to solve it and so on. So this is a nice task to check how you can convert different things between them with different logic, but it is not something that you can solve in 1 or 2 minutes.